Today we are bringing all of the MMA news straight to you with timestamps, by the way, if you would like to skip to any particular topic. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to everything you missed in MMA. This is where we go through all of the news surrounding MMA this week, whether it's something everybody's heard about related to Conor McGregor or two fighters fighting that you've never heard about before. We're going to cover it all, and I gotta say, guys, there are some banger fight announcements that have been announced this week, but other than that, there is not a lot going on in the MMA world. But still, we're going to talk about it again. Timestamps are there if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. Starting off with news about One Championship, which is my favorite MMA organization. Always love when we have some good One news, although this doesn't affect me personally. It's still really cool to see. So they signed a deal, an exclusive deal with Sky Sports to broadcast in the UK and Ireland. They are going to be broadcasting on Sky Sports. So just kind of like we have the Fight Nights on Prime Video type thing, it's going to be on Sky Sports for the UK and Ireland. Really cool that One is getting, they have a nice, real big home for it. I know the PFL has been working on something like that for especially overseas, which is really cool. I mean, it's good to see. Like UFC has ESPN. It's going to be nice that there is a particular home for some of these other organizations. Next up, guys, we have the first UFC 300 fight. Well, one half of the fight. Dana White has confirmed that Jim Miller will be part of UFC 300. This makes me incredibly happy. We know Jim Miller does have a fight lined up, so assuming Jim Miller is healthy, I hope to God he's healthy because I've always wanted to see Jim Miller there. I want him to get a win and retire. He's not 100% whether or not he's going to retire, but he fought on UFC 100, 200, and now he's going to fight on UFC 300. He's going to make history. I would love for him to get a fairy tale ending win and ride off into the sunset. I still have a feeling they might do Paul Felder, man. And that I would hate because I'm a huge fan of Paul Felder too, and I would really not want either one of those guys to lose. So I'd like to see that, but I wouldn't like to see that. But regardless, Jim Miller is officially going to be on UFC 300. Next up, guys, I want to take you over to the UFC subreddit. This was one of the most trending posts throughout the week. This is something, if you are new here, we take a look at what is going on Reddit. What's the MMA community been talking about? It's been flooded with Ian Gary. So there's one upvoted post out of everything that really stands out. 50 fights into his career and still fighting absolute killers like Roundtree on short notice. Give the guy some respect. Honestly, guys, it's kind of true, but I am a little bit of an Anthony Smith hater myself. I mean, I don't dislike the guy. It's just, I find him annoying, the fact that he's constantly just going, you know, John Jones is very beatable. Like, if I would have showed up that night, it would be totally okay. That's why Anthony Smith gets the hate that he does, and that's why I'm a little bit annoyed with him myself. But there is no doubt about it. Lionheart, he lives up to the name. He comes in short notice. He will fight anybody, and he always does his very best to win. So as an athlete, he has nothing but my respect. Next up, let's talk about the PFL. So the PFL is set, and this is not official, but they are set to hire Mike Kogan, who was the Bellator matchmaker. And it's very nice again. I love what the PFL is doing right now in the sense where they had all of the Bellator employees welcome to work with the PFL. I love that, and they're really living up to that. So far, so good. I know they had the door open. If anybody wanted to take off, they could, but if anybody wanted to come over, they would have a job, and now they have Mike Kogan as the matchmaker for PFL, which is very, very nice. I love the fact that he's keeping his job. I'm a big fan of Bellator. I like the matchups that they made, so Mike Kogan will do a fantastic job over at the PFL. And guys, honestly, that is pretty much all of the news from this week going on right now. Unless something crazy happens with a new fight getting announced. I'm recording this the night before you are actually viewing it. But anyways, let's talk about the fight announcements. There has been some bangers announced. We have Tai Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura on February 17th. Very cool there. Probably going to get Tai Tuivasa back into the win column. We got a little bit of, you know what? It's not really a stinker for the women's division. Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos on February 17th. We have a fight that I am incredibly excited for. Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo on February 17th. Co-main event. Very excited for this. I like watching Merab. It's an unpopular opinion, but I do like watching Merab fight. Very exciting to me personally. And Henry Cejudo is one of my favorite fighters, so I cannot wait for this fight. I'll be cheering for Henry Cejudo, but let's keep going. Another fighter I'm a big fan of, Curtis Blades. He's taking on Jailton Almeida on March 9th. That fight is getting back on track. And now I'm kind of leading towards Curtis Blades winning this fight after seeing Jailton's last performance, but who knows? Who knows? Anyways, we then have Mateusz Gamrot taking on Rafael dos Anjos on March 9th. Love watching both of them fight. Then we have a free win for Karine Silva. She's taking on Lauren Murphy on March 9th. Then we have Devin Clark versus Marcin Prachnio on February 10th. And a replacement fight being John Silva taking on Weston Wilson on January 13th. Santos has pulled out of that fight. There are some absolute bangers here. I love just about every matchup. I don't even mind seeing Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. That's even a good fight, to be honest with you. The only stinker is really Karine Silva versus Lauren Murphy. But then again, like, Karine Silva can be pretty exciting. So, I don't know. Kind of exciting. Maybe. Regardless, all the other fights are very exciting. A very, very good week for fight announcements. And before I get you out of here, guys, there are some fights that you should be checking out this weekend. Tonight, if you're viewing this the first day that it was uploaded, LFA is tonight. I love that organization. Has some very, very underrated gems for performances. Fighters, a lot of those fighters get to the UFC, so if you're a huge MMA fan like myself, go check out the LFA. It is going to be on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, you have the big UFC 296 on Saturday. Very excited for both cards. You cannot miss it. But with that being said, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. This has been everything that you missed in MMA this week. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, we have this video out every single Friday on the channel, so check it out, guys. I will see you either there or in the next video. Check out one of the videos on screen right now. Take care, everybody.